In the 67th minute, when Real Madrid was still struggling at Santiago Bernabeu against Real Betis, a fateful moment arrived. Federico Valverde received the ball with his back turned and, with his exceptional vision, the Uruguayan international executed a magnificent backheel, reminiscent of Guti in his prime. Mbappe immediately broke free and finished cleanly, opening the scoring for Real Madrid. The Ninja Turtle celebrated ecstatically after 3 goalless games, during which he had faced criticism from the media. Finally, Real Madrid's blockbuster signing had scored his first goal in La Liga, a statement that he would not become another Eden Hazard, despite the mocking comparisons still lingering. Tonight was truly a festive night for Los Blancos fans. It was also the perfect moment to reflect on the most sublime performance by the French international since his arrival in Spain. Real Madrid started the game under immense pressure following a series of underwhelming results early in the season. Moreover, Barcelona's recent 7-0 thrashing of Real Valladolid only increased the tension for Carlo Ancelotti's men. Naturally, the media's spotlight was on the signing of the century, Kylian Mbappe, as the French forward had yet to open his goal account in La Liga this season. Terms like flop and Eden Hazard 2.0 had begun to circulate to describe the situation of the 25-year-old striker. However, Real Madrid is not a team lacking in character, and the 11 players in the starting lineup were enough to electrify all 4 corners of the Bernabeu right after the opening whistle. Things got even better for Real Madrid when their opponents, coached by Manuel Pellegrini, were missing key players such as Isco, Bakambu, Mar Bartra, and Luis Felipe. Therefore, it wasn't surprising when Real Madrid pushed the pace from the first half to search for a goal. But Real Betis surprised everyone with their aggressive pressing and effective counterattacks. In fact, had they been a bit luckier, Pellegrini's team could have taken the lead in the first 45 minutes. On the other side, Mbappe and his teammates managed 13 shots on Rui Silva's goal during the first half. However, aside from a powerful header from Militao, Los Blancos' other chances weren't particularly dangerous. Real Madrid still had fast, fluid attacking moves, but the white-shirted forwards lacked sharpness in the final moments. Even Mbappe, the most anticipated player, couldn't make a difference, despite being set up in good positions by Vinicius Jr. multiple times. The goalless scoreline sent both teams into halftime with urgency, and quick adjustments were made by Carlo Ancelotti and his counterpart, Manuel Pellegrini. Cameras even captured scenes of Real Madrid stars motivating each other with loud, determined shouts before the second half began. Clearly, the reigning La Liga champions had no intention of allowing the gap with Barcelona to widen, and attacking moves were once again quickly deployed. In the 50th minute, Vinicius hit the post, and Mbappe rushed in to take the rebound, but the French striker blasted the ball over the bar, much to the dismay of the fans. It seemed that the French forward was still missing a bit of luck, and it was hard to see how Los Blancos could score if this deadlock persisted. However, just as the fans were beginning to brace themselves for a less than happy outcome for their team, the game's turning point arrived. In the 67th minute, Rodrigo dribbled through the visiting team's defense and passed to Valverde. With just a second of observation, the South American star made a genius decision to execute a backheel, breaking down the entire opposition defense. No one expected the Uruguayan international to handle the situation with such finesse. Real Betis's players were momentarily disoriented as Vinicius stood in an offside position, but the Brazilian winger was clever enough not to interfere with the play. And that's when the main character stepped in. With the speed of an F1 car, Mbappe surged toward the ball and coolly slotted it home, breaking the deadlock. There was no chance for Rui Silva to stop it, and the Bernabeu erupted at this decisive moment. The signing of the century had just opened his goal account in La Liga, and perhaps this was the start of one of the greatest strikers in the history of the league. The immense pressure had been lifted, and the Ninja Turtle swiftly performed his trademark crossed arms celebration as the fans roared in delight. Even Jude Bellingham, sitting in the stands, couldn't remain calm and jumped up to join in the celebration with his teammates. Clearly, for a big club like Real Madrid, once they overcome the psychological barrier, the momentum will quickly follow. This argument was soon proven. In the 73rd minute, Valverde received a through ball and burst into the opposition's box. The South American forward planned to dribble past the goalkeeper before shooting, but a collision with Rui Silva left the Real Madrid star on the ground. After a few minutes of VAR review, the referee awarded the home team a penalty, and everyone thought Vinicius would take it. It was a pre-arranged decision by the coaching staff, and the Brazilian international had earned the penalty himself. However, Real Madrid's number 7 surprised the fans by signaling for Mbappe to take the spot kick. Perhaps Vinicius wanted to boost his teammates' confidence, and this gesture demonstrated the high level of camaraderie within Real Madrid's dressing room. Naturally, the French captain had no reason to decline his Brazilian colleague's kind offer. Mbappe calmly slotted the penalty, doubling Real Madrid's lead. The 3 points were secured at the Bernabeu. The final 15 minutes saw Ancelotti's men play in cruise control. In the end, Los Blancos secured a convincing 2-0 win and now have 10 points after 4 rounds. With a better goal difference than Atletico Madrid and Villarreal, Real Madrid climbed to second place in the La Liga standings. Unsurprisingly, Kylian Mbappe was the most sought-after player after the match, receiving the Man of the Match award. However, the French striker used most of his post-match interview to praise his teammates. When asked about his first La Liga goal, the French forward quickly credited Valverde's magnificent back heel. "It's August, and we must realize that we need to fight alongside each other," Mbappe said. Clearly, the 25-year-old understands that he cannot succeed at Real Madrid without the support of his teammates and the fans. Thus, another compliment was given by the French captain to his teammates. "I scored at this legendary stadium, and it's the best fortress in the world. But even when I hadn't scored yet, Real Madrid fans still supported me. I love them so much." Of course, alongside the French captain, credit must also be given to Vinicius for his unselfish gesture of letting Mbappe take the penalty. In the post-match press conference, Ancelotti affirmed that his pupil was not selfish, and that the relationship between the Brazilian star and Mbappe was very strong. This assessment was quickly agreed upon by the pundits. Perhaps, if Real Madrid's spirit remains united like this, the prospect of reclaiming the domestic throne from Barcelona is not far-fetched.